Let's talk about graphing linear equations. Here we see the equation y equals 7/2 x minus 2. One way that we know how to graph lines is by making a table of values. So if we do that here, we're looking at making an xy table, and we want to be smart about the values that we choose for x. I always like to use 0, and then I like to use 2 positives and 2 negatives. And so if we're picking our positives, we want to try to use factors of the denominator. Since the slope has a denominator, since it's a fraction, we want to use factors of that denominator. So like 2 and 4 would be good choices, and then I just usually use those opposites. And then we're going to plug those values in for x and find what y would be. So I'm actually going to redo my table here a little bit, so we have some room for work. So we're just replacing, we're doing 7/2 times -4 minus 2, which would give us -16. And then 7/2 times -2 minus 2, which would give us -9. So we keep going and doing this. Put a 4 there. That would give us 12. And then we just want to graph and see where these points will be. So we'll start at -4, -16. That's not going to fit on the graph that we have, and neither is -2, -9. But 0, -2 will, and 2, 5 will, and then 4, 12 also will not. So we just spit 2 of those points on our graph. We graph it, and we're set. Here's a different equation, also solve for y equals -6x plus 3. When equations are solved for y, the easiest way to graph them, in my opinion, is by using slope and y-intercept. And if you remember, slope-intercept form looks like this, and m is our slope, and b is our y-intercept. And so on this one, our y-intercept would be 3, so we're going to plot that. And then our slope is -6, and anytime a slope isn't a fraction, I always put it over 1 so that I know what my run is. So the slope tells us to go down 6, right 1. So once again, we can only fit 2 points on that graph. Connect our points, and there's our line.